Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Steady and Silent podcast. So, I learned something interesting this week, and it only makes sense to share it with you. If I'm gonna eat, you're gonna eat too. And we're starting to seem like a little family coming together and discussing and sharing every week. So, with all that said, let's get into this message and see what God is saying to us in this season. Steady and silent. This is what I thought, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Christians think the same way too. Choose God and your life will be perfect. Choose the world and your life will be empty and meaningless. But this is so far from the truth. You can be a Christian, holy, going to church 2 times a week, and still have trouble in your life, still have difficulty paying your bills on time. And on the other hand, you can be living inside of the world and enjoying your best life. That's because God did not promise us a life where the road is smooth and made of gold. He did not promise us a perfect life in this world. Emphasis on this world. In fact, what he did promise was everlasting life. He promised us a new life with joy and happiness and no illnesses. And the thing is, if you don't understand this, you could be setting yourself up for a really devastating end. And sometimes our level of happiness is dependent on the goals that we achieve. But what if you don't? Have you ever thought of that? I know that it hurts to hear it, but what if something happens that is out of your control and you're unable to achieve some of the most important goals to you? What happens next? Are you going to live a life sad, unfulfilled, in depression? Because anything can happen at any time. Are you prepared for the rejection, for the tragedies that comes in life? You see, many of us can't handle when things don't go as planned. I'm not saying that you shouldn't set goals and make plans, but are your goals getting in the way of the plans that God has for your life? Or is it seeming more and more like an adrenaline or a dopamine rush? I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that God will fill you with peace and joy that's like a river that never runs dry. So far, we're learning that being a Christian doesn't exempt us from troubles and trials. In fact, many of Jesus' disciples were in exile, was persecuted, was stoned, and crucified. And that did not stop them from spreading the good news of God. Sometimes living for Jesus can seem like picking up a daily cross. But what I do know is that his presence and his peace is so overwhelming that it can get you through any tribulation or trial. To have peace in God is something you may never understand unless you experience him for yourself. That is why you may see some persons living in extreme poverty or some persons sick, but they are the most happiest persons on this planet because they understand what it is to have peace in God. What I wanted you to take away from this is that God could fill you with peace and give you total fulfillment at any level you are in your life today. All you have to do is give up control and ask him to give you the desires of his heart. He will show you that the earthly things that you are chasing is only breadcrumbs, and the real goal is the kingdom of heaven. If you enjoyed this message today, share it with a friend. Like and subscribe so that this message can go out to more persons who need to hear it.